Alright, I tried recording this, and I did a really good job, but then the audio fucked up, so I'm doing it again, and I'm gonna make it even better. So, we're gonna talk about tamers12345, an artist that I have been very obsessed with since late 2024. My girlfriend, showed me is like, hey, there's this guy who makes cartoons about Sonic Underground, and it's all about like Bartleby, who's like a minor character, like fucking Sonic and being cool and awesome. And I'm like, well, this is obviously extremely based. And I watched a bit of it, but I didn't really get into Tamers until I saw this, and I was like, oh, I guess he's making pony videos now, and he's got that Pinky Dash shit, which is, of course, my original ship, the thing that made me the girl I am today. And like Pinky Dash is just like, I was like, if he knows, then I gotta check this out, and I became completely obsessed with this entire world. And I also, I've seen most of the Sonic Underground stuff too. I've seen all the Dandy's World stuff up to this point. Well, I haven't. Still need to watch the newest episode, or like watch past like the first 5 minutes. But I keep up with the Dandy's World stuff. I keep up with the pony stuff. I will watch anything this nigga makes. Like I am a #1 Tamers Glazer. And I have been thinking about how I think he is doing indie animation the way I want more people to do indie animation, because like animation made independently on the internet is just going to become more and more of a thing that is like going to replace at least TV animation. I don't know about like film, but like TV is on its way out. The like and like independent stuff made on the internet for like the last like 15 years has just like increasingly become a thing that people are invested in and find a unique value in. But like, you know, I think like with like Glitch or Vivzy Pop or whatever like really big indie animation thing that is like putting all the really popular stuff out right now, you know, I think that is like kind of missing the point of getting to be an independent animation creator. And one of those things is production value. Now, the thing about Tamers is that he is really great at cutting corners. Like he will have like very limited animation, kind of just like the lip syncing will just be like 2 or 3 frames like an anime. A lot of these are taken from anime. Like I hope he becomes like the Osamu Tezuka of like independent animation, you know? Like I really do. Like because like, you know, he like the lip flaps, they'll just be like 1 or 2 frames. All of like the background art, like usually like they're drawn in like a way that like I think takes Tamers like 1 to 3 minutes, and if you really want to make it look good, it's like 5 or 7 minutes. I think that's what he says in an interview. But like he has like his like default way of drawing in MS Paint down to a fucking science, because he's just been drawing with a mouse on MS Paint since like like the late 2000s, so he just has it down. And so like a lot of the things he draws doesn't take that much time, but when he's really caring about a scene, when a scene like it's important for it to look good in like a more traditional way for him, then he'll go in and he'll actually like have time to do that, because the parts where people are just like talking, it's kind of more important that the frame looks interesting or funny rather than like polished in any sort of way. Another thing he does is traces, and a lot of people have an issue with tracing, but you shouldn't, because tracing is kind of just sampling, especially if, oh shit, I did not notice the Monster High ponies back there when I first watched that. That's fucking sick. I don't have a problem, because like, if you know about an image that is good and you just want it to be that image, but it's your character on top of it, then I don't see the problem with tracing it. Like, that is just kind of sampling. And I think most people on the internet are okay with sampled art, and at the very least they listen to sampled music all the time. If you listen to any hip-hop, you listen to a sample. It is transformative if we want to play by those rules, though I don't think that it has to be transformative, because I don't care about copyright or intellectual property, or the idea that intellectual property should exist at all. But like, and like the voices are all like text-to-speech voices or AI voices, and like, he is able to get these things out, one, because he works an ungodly amount of time on this, but on the other hand, it's like he cuts these corners so he's able to do this at all. Like, he's able to tell his story, and like, you know, he has all of these ways to avoid making it like a tedious process when it doesn't need to be. Like, he's allowed to sort of make the process in a way that just allows him to be in his stream of consciousness and allowing it to just come out. And and a lot of his things are structured in a way that you could tell is very stream of consciousness. Like, he doesn't really have he definitely has continuity between all of the pony animations at the very least, but he doesn't need to he is completely okay with being like, alright, this section where Pinkie Pie is trying to liberate her sisters from the rock farm, that can just go on for however long Tamers wants to, and then it can get back to the main point of the episode, or like the characters will just say or do whatever Tamers wants them to do in that moment, and that is more interesting and the thing you're allowed to do with the internet. And like the production value, you know, like, compared to something like The Amazing Digital Circus or Knights of Guinevere, like, those cartoons are great, but like, they're very obsessed with having like an industry grade production value on all of their shows, and it makes them take a really long time and makes them have to treat it like another industry thing. Like, yeah, the Mission Digital Circus could go farther, but it needs in terms of like its subject matter, it can like push the boundaries farther than they want to, but like, it's still bound to being like a certain level of production. Like it needs to have everything needs to look good, it needs to move well. Tamers is not concerned with that. Like he is perfectly okay with limiting the amount of animation he does so that he can tell his story. And I think that like scaling things down like that actually makes it so you have a larger amount of freedom, because you're not worried about, oh, I need to make all the animation look really good and spend 3 years on the pilot like Long Gone Gulch for a like gamble that I could like acquire a studio. Cause like that's the other thing, is freedom. Like Tamers has a lot of freedom when working with his shows. Like, cause like there's a thing with cartoonists that is kind of an open secret, that cartoonists are gross perverts. And what I mean by that is that there's like a collection of desires that animators and cartoonists, like anybody who like is very invested in their stories, and specifically the drawn visual aspect of it, like we all know that Rebecca Sugar is like has so much porn of her own characters, and like it gets really pro-shippy, which is really funny that like aunties will like shit on a lot of people who make problematic stuff on the internet, but a lot of their favorite creators are making pro-ship stuff like secretly. And it's all basically like a compromise, and seeing what they can get away with and seeing what they can't get away with. Like, are you going to sit here and tell me that Dana Terrace doesn't think about her characters fucking? Like, the thought has at least crossed their mind. And it's not just that, but also Tamers is known for like fart and poop humor, which is just like a staple in animation. Like that is a kind of thing that was really popular in animation up until like 10 years ago, basically. And it's still like very much a thing. You look at a lot of Nickelodeon's catalog, or you look at Teen Titans Go, which is still airing, and that shit is full of that kind of humor. It's not the stuff that gets critically acclaimed anymore, but like gross humor and slapstick and just like doing funny things, stretching these stretchy characters to their limits is like integral to the medium. But it's not just that. Like there's a number of things Tamers does that kind of embody the true desires of a lot of animators. Music videos. He'll often have characters engage in a very like fetishy, sexy music video. My personal favorite example is in this one, of course, where it's Twilight and Trixie doing a Broken Side song. Yeah, like that, like, you know, it's like, I'm sure that you have at some point in your life laid in bed and thought about an elaborate music video or AMV with your characters being in there. You know, you've probably done that. You probably wanted it to put it in your thing. And it's also like these very mundane scenarios, wanting to put your characters in, like, have them do the mundane things that you do. Like in Homestuck, you know, whenever like characters are referencing media or engaging in like consumer products that we engage with, it is funny. Like when John and Dave are talking about the movie Armageddon, or when the Batter Witch, the Betty Crocker shit comes up. It's funny for the same reason it's funny to see Twilight Sparkle eat a Lunchables, or like have them talk about Labubu's, or have them talk about Morbius or something. Like, it's funny for the same reasons. And it's like, Tamers is just made of that. Like, that's what, like, fan fiction is. It is like a medium all about just projecting yourself and your specific interests onto these characters that you are obsessed with, and putting them in situations. And like, you can have like a little bit of that with these big budget cartoons, but you can't make it this way. You don't have that kind of freedom. And so, like, I understand wanting to have like this giant fantasy of like making a inspiring thing that airs on TV that can reach all of these people, or like, you know, making like a video game that is like a triple A scale, like wanting that production value means a lot to people, and having it reach a lot of people, because that is the thing. Tamers will never be mainstream. Like, he's gotten really big with the Dandy's World stuff, like bigger than he has been at any point, like getting 500,000 views on some of the Dandy's World stuff, but he's never, it doesn't breach a million. Like, he's at the top of this like very niche thing that he's created for himself. Like, he can't be Digital Circus pulling in 300 million views. But like, I think as a result it's more meaningful, because he can still make a living. Like, he still has a Patreon that has very, very dedicated fans who will just give him money because he does exactly what he wants to do. And so he reaches other people who likes this sort of stuff, like I do. Like, I don't want cartoonists to pretend that they don't want to put their characters in these like fetishistic sexual scenarios, because that's also a big part of it, the shipping and the sexuality of it. Like, this right here, seeing Shrimpo and Goob fucking looking at each other longingly while he's grabbing the ass, like that's what it's all about, you know. It's just these desires that you're allowed to go really far with, and like, you can't do that on TV, and like, you can't even do like that bare minimum thing you can do in like an industry grade like project with a bunch of people and a bunch of money. Like, fucking like a lot of people are like, I'm going to reach this giant audience, and I'm like, okay, but you're going to have to your creation is not going to be your creation anymore. A lot of people also have an idea of what they want to be, and a lot of the time the studio who is funding your shit, the company that it is a part of, is going to win. Like, the absolute best case scenario you get is the Owl House. And that was like an insanely stressful situation that made Dana Terrace walk away from TV animation forever. Like, you're not going to get this perfect, polished, big version of like your obscure Magical Girls series. You're going to have to make compromises in ways that a lot of people think they'll be able to handle, but they can't. And it's also like, if you want to have the utmost control over it, you have to somehow end up in a position when you're a showrunner. And yes, that's easier when you're on the internet, but like, if you're a showrunner, you also have to, like, it's not just, I'm going to bring about my creation. That's not what a showrunner or a director does. Oh, that's not the only thing it does. What it also does is fucking, like, you have to, fucking God, I lost my train of thought, holy shit. You have to, like, work with people. You have to manage everybody's jobs. Like, it is a social fucking job to manage an entire studio and make sure everybody, like, that is what a director or a showrunner does. You are making sure everyone's doing their job. You are a boss, essentially. And you have to cut a lot of things because there's only a certain, you're gonna, like, people are going to make entire, like minutes and minutes of animation that you're gonna have to just throw in the trash. Nobody's gonna see it, and you're gonna have to communicate that to those people. And you're gonna have to be like, well, I really wanted this in there, but I can't have it because I am now making a product, and my art is purely in spite of that. It is purely me pushing as hard as possible. And if we're just going to take that to the internet, if we're going to take these standards to the internet, then congratulations, you have created the industry, but it's on the internet. You know, that's where Glitch is going. Like, we're going to start hearing a lot more shit about Glitch because they're doing that. And I love all the Glitch cartoons, but like, they're still gonna be a company. They still have shit to sell. They're still like the king of like turning shit into a plushie and making sure you buy it. Like, that's, like, companies are evil and fucked up and exploitative, and that's what's going to happen. You're not going to have the greatest idea that will make a company just bow down and make the thing you want to make. They're going to bastardize it and mangle it up. Like 100% Dana Terrace, even though she got a lot of shit done, even though Rebecca Sugar got a lot of shit done, they two are the goats of negotiations to make their queer art like a thing on TV for children. It's still far away from what they initially wanted because it's a show. And so Tamers doesn't have to worry about that. He just passionately makes what he wants, bravely makes what he wants, found a niche audience who will support him no matter what, and he's able to preserve his creation, able to do what he wants, you know? Like, Tamers still, has to worry about what he can put onto YouTube, but it's still a hell of a lot more freedom because he can just do whatever he wants. And I want more indie animation to do this. We're on the internet. We don't have to pretend like we are like pure little fucking creatures who could never think of their characters having gay sex or beating the shit out of each other or saying naughty words. Like, that's fine if you're offended by Tamers, but it's like, you can just make your thing. But then there's also the thing I thought about, which is maybe only a certain level of autistic person can do this. Like, because, like, I also, like, Tamers has helped me break out of my shell because, like, in 2025, like early 2025, I had like a psychological revelation that I am plural and have made connections with all the other people in my brain that I was dissociated from, and through that realized that like magic, because like it was kind of like Pretty Pretty Please I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl, which is like my second favorite indie animation thing. It was like, yeah, this is like a children's show with swearing in it. And I fetishized having like a TV animation with like a fandom separate and porn that was separate. Like I fetishized that idea, but I realized that like putting all of my desires into magic and making it exactly all the things I like and want to do in it made me way happier. Like making the thing is what makes me happy, not making a version of the thing that everybody will accept and love and buy merch of, but making the thing. And I've been able to accrue an audience who even gives me money to continue doing my thing because I make it authentic. And I filtered a lot of people. A lot of people hate me. A lot of people dropped off of it. But I am making my own thing. And that's what makes me happy. But I wonder if making this kind of stuff is reserved for a level of autism that people want to be a part of, that people want to make those TV grade animations. Like people want to do that kind of stuff. Like that's what people like about animation, is making something high quality and easily accessible. And I'm sure that's true for a lot of people, but I think for a lot of people it's also like they're like me and they were scared of how people would respond and felt like they had to like answer to what the fans wanted and adhere to a certain standard of things. And it's like, no, like we are on the internet, we can do this, it's better than TV, it's better than all of the restrictions you put. You can make it exactly how you want. And so if you're someone watching my videos and you're like, I want to make my big story, then just make it. You can do it. Look, and like honestly, like think about cutting corners, like, because like I'll also bring up Homestuck again, that like Homestuck is really, it was like a masterpiece in having Andrew Hussey sort of make a thing that was attuned to his workflow. Like he like used to make more traditional comics, and he has gone on record saying that like 500 pages of Homestuck is like the effort of like 30 pages of a regular comic. So like, you know, he has the pester logs that like is just like these long dialogue scenes. He puts emphasis into the things that he naturally does and that's easy for him, that he can work around, and he cuts corners in places where it doesn't matter as much. And if you want to, like, if you have like a really ambitious thing, and this is something I'm also working on, then finding ways to cut those corners is like good if you want to make significant progress. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want to just sit there and deliberate over every frame and make it look really pretty and exactly to your specifications, which I also very much understand and oftentimes do. But yeah, I just want more indie animation to be like Tamers.